Good morning. Wait lang guys suot ko lang yung aking watch. Okay, game. So, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the stream. Time check 5:15 a.m. and we are streaming NBA 2K23 Jordan Challenge number 4. Star of Stars. East All Stars versus West All Stars back in 1986. 1988. February 7, 1988 NBA All-Star Game. Ayan. Simulan na natin. Patay na naman. Grab 8 rebounds. Di ko alam kung paano gagawin to. So, we'll be getting 2 out of 3 goals for this Jordan Challenge. Ay, sayang. Hindi kasi ako marunong mag-rebound dito. Yung hindi ko alam kung paano di-discarte yan, rebound dito sa game na to. So, ayun. Hehe. Game.
The thing that I liked most about Michael Jordan as a player was the fact that I didn't have to try to guard him. If you had a poor defensive scheme, he was going to fill the hoop up until you either figured it out or the game was over and you lost the game. Some of his acrobatic drives to the hoop are just remarkable. You know, he can get past the defense and use a little bit of English off of the glass. The ball drops in so nice. It takes some really advanced skills to do that consistently. The 1988 All-Star Game was a showcase for Michael. Michael had figured out all the things he needed to know to be a dominant player. Everything. One-on-one couldn't guard him. What Michael Jordan showed the whole sports world was the fact that you put the right people with him, he's going to lead them to world championships. Without question. He was a prime example of excellence and a leader that would lead you all the way to the top. All the way to the top. That was basketball at its finest.
Continue pala. I forgot to click on continue. Okay, so what now? Road to go vlog. Hello, good morning, brother. Salamat sa patthumbs up. Welcome to the stream. Mega shoutout to yung kapatid. Salamat sa pagdaan po. Madaling araw eh, no? Got nothing to do kasi.
Crosstown traffic and the green line whizzing by overhead on this calm winter night in Chicago.
Welcome
but not for
to the
long.
All-Star Game. Get up and get loud for your West All-Star. Back forward, making his 7th All-Star appearance, the standout veteran of the Denver Nuggets, 6'7",
Alex English.
English. Making his All-Star debut, the front court star of the Utah Jazz, the mailman, 6'9", Karl Malone.
Wow, batang-bata.
The man in the middle, an all-star, each of his 4 pro seasons from the Houston Rockets, 7 feet, Aking Olajuwon. At guard, making his first all-star appearance, the virtual star of the Denver Nuggets, 6'3", Lafayette Fat Lever.
Boy, Fat Liver.
And the NBA leader in assists in his 8th All-Star game from the Los Angeles Lakers, 6'9", Irvin Magic Johnson. The head coach of the West All-Stars is Brad Nelson. Let's hear it for your West All-Star.
Brad Nelson.
And now, the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference. At forward, a 3-time most valuable player, an all-star each of his 9
Larry
seasons
Bird.
from the
Ganda
Boston
ng shoes nila.
Celtics, 6'9",
Converse, the weapon.
Larry Bird. He's one of the NBA's most exciting players. In his 3rd All-Star game from the
Dominic
Atlanta
Wilkins.
Hawks, 6'8", Dominique Wilkins. The man in the middle, an all-star for the 10th time. One of the game's most rugged rebounders from the Washington Bullets. 6'10", Moses Malone. At guard, the most valuable player of the 1984 and 1986 All-Star games. This Chicagoan is making his 7th All-Star appearance from the Detroit Pistons. 6'1", Isaiah Thomas. And finally, the NBA leader in scoring and steals. An all-star each of his 4 seasons. The charismatic star of the Chicago Bulls, 6'6", Michael Jordan. The head coach of the East All-Stars is Mike Fratello.
Welcome everyone to Chicago for the 1988
Let's get it
All-Star
on.
Game. By my side, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter tonight, David Alder. I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this is the 2nd time Chicago has hosted this mid-season classic.
Yeah, you go back to 1973, that's when they hosted their first one. The East won it 104 to 84 back then. That was the lowest combined score in an All-Star game, Kevin, since the 1950s.
We'll see if then tonight, Clark, they can surpass that total.
I would think they could. No shortage of scores on either side. I expect an up-tempo, fast-paced game, an exciting game with plenty of highlights and buckets.
Cannot wait. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside, and Dominic Wilkins with Larry Bird the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
Now here's Wilkins. Here's Jordan. The shot's good on the assist from Wilkins. Jordan's got his 2nd basket of the night. And starting last season, Clark, Michael Jordan's scoring went through the roof.
Averaging averaging over 37 points per game, partner, and he's kept close to that pace this season as well. Remarkable.
Amazing and remarkable, right? Wow.
I tell you what, the peripheral vision, the court awareness of Johnson, this guy always knows when one of his teammates is open.
Good. Marquis see Larry and Magic together in those Converse ads. They've become really the faces of the NBA.
And Kevin, I think they've inherited the mantle from the great Dr. J. He's done such a great job representing the league all these years, and certainly he's left it in good hands with those two.
And that's a great comparison.
What a powerful move that was right off the screen.
Yeah, they set him up well there. It's Thomas, high post. Johnson's there. Back to Thomas. The shot from the low post is good. Larkin amidst this all-star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday. Clark, can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. And plenty of subplots to this game. For more, let's send it over to David Aldridge. DA, take it away.
Thanks very much. Now, this story has never gone away over the years, guys. Isaiah Thomas is, of course, a native Chicagoan, but you'll still hear some boos today from Bulls fans. That's because at that All-Star game a couple of years ago, people questioned whether Isaiah froze out Michael Jordan. And some people still believe it. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, that story has not gone away. Thank you, David. For what it's worth, Clark, Isaiah Thomas denies there was a freeze-out, and Jordan himself says, I never said it, so what do you think?
Well, the reality is we probably never will know the full story.
And the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. Veteran IQ and smart, but you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed, they do. English misses.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
Jordan passes to Thomas. He dishes it to Malone. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Thomas got his third assist on the night. And Moses Malone Clark, the wily veteran for the Washington Bullets.
And you know, Kevin, his coach Wes Unseld says Malone has really added a level of aggressiveness to the Washington Bullets.
And he brings Clark a championship pedigree to the team.
No doubt.
And Michael Jordan won the dunk contest last night, and man, was it great. What a thriller. He and Dominique Clark put on a great show, and you could tell they both wanted it so badly. Perhaps the home court advantage gave Michael Jordan Clark the edge.
And there was another winner from last night, and that was Larry Bird, taking home the trophy in the three-point shootout. And he didn't even need to take off his warm-ups to handle his business.
Clark, somebody told me he looked at the rest of the competitors and said, okay, who's going to be in second place here? Who's going to finish behind me?
Sounds just like him.
So the timeout taken here, the first for the West All-Stars.
Looking to stop the bleeding and put an end.
Wait lang guys baka may mahatak akong mahabag sa aking stream. Uy, meron na tayong 3 thumbs up. magandang araw sa lahat ng dumaan at nanonood ngayon. Yung mga pa-view dyan, maraming salamat din sa maikling oras sa pagdaan nyo sa aking channel. Malaking tulong na yan. And maraming salamat sa 3 nagbigay ng thumbs up kay host. Ngayong nagla-live stream at naglalaro.
Into this run.
Jordan against Johnson. Passes it to McDaniel. Back to Johnson. Drexler scanning the floor. 6 to shoot. Can they get it? It's rebounded by Ewing. And Kareem looking to set the career record for all-star scoring. Isn't that something?
It really is. Needs just 10 points to do it, Kevin, and you gotta love his chances. I mean, that's a layup for him, pun intended.
Yeah, a good one. And when the jump shot is fallen for Michael Jordan, what can you do? He is unstoppable. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the most all-star appearances by far in NBA history. Clark, an all-star in every season of his career except one. And in that year, he was injured.
Yeah, and at 40 years of age, matter of fact, the youngest player tonight was only 4 years old when Kareem made his first all-star appearance. That player, Brad Daugherty.
No kidding.
That's right.
Here's Drexler. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe. And if there was a stop, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
Yeah, the Tennessee Volunteers should be here. Here's Drexler. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's the East All-Stars. 13 points up at the end of the period. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. As these great fans hope Michael Jordan can bring home... the win and the MVP.
And the head coach of the East, Mike Fratello, his first time coaching in the All-Star game.
Michael Jordan is up there with Ewing, then there's Daugherty, then it's Thomas, and it's Ainge in the platoon. So that's who the East All-Stars start the second with. Daugherty with the bucket.
And Daugherty so fundamentally sound as a pivot man for the Cavaliers. I mean, he's got excellent footwork, tremendous touch. He's a gifted passer. What you want in a center.
Now here's Johnson. Pass to Abdul-Jabbar. Back to Johnson. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. How about about that? Mike's a terrific friend of yours and mine, and Fratello's Hawks recently moved into first place in the East after the Cavs beat the Celtics. Clark enabling him to become the coach of the East All-Star.
So don't be surprised if the Cavs' Brad Daugherty gets extended minutes in his first All-Star appearance. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Now, here is Jordan. He's got 10.
And with Patrick Ewing leading the way, the New York Knicks finally competitive again. The big man has quickly found a rapport with rookie point guard Mark Jackson. They are a team on the rise. Book that.
And here early, Clark, the East has the edge.
You look at that team on the East squad, an embarrassment of riches, Kevin, and you know they've got so many weapons. I think it simply comes down to execution for them. And Fat Lever, snubbed a year ago, now a first-time All-Star, well-deserved. He leads the league in triple-doubles, one of the original stat sheet stuffers, averaging 9 rebounds a game as well. Best by a mile for NBA guard.
The size and aggression of Patrick Ewing inside.
The #1 overall pick in 1985, and it was an all-star rookie season for Patrick Ewing. Hurt last year, but nice to see him back where he belongs, right in the all-star game.
Outside for Lever. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation.
And they can ill afford mistakes like that one.
And some changes here for the East.
Doc
Moses
Rivers.
Malone, he's checked in for Ewing. McHale comes in for Danny Ainge. And it's Rivers in for Thomas. McHale. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. McHale's got his first points in this one.
And Coach Mike Fratello, a colleague of ours, coaching in the All-Star game, standing tall amongst a bunch of tall guys in the NBA. You know, his dad was an amateur boxer, and you know, I think that background gives Mike a lot of confidence as a coach.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And Clark, not easy for these coaches to put their stamp on the game. Only a 1-hour practice yesterday to get acquainted and move through some sets.
And you know, Kevin, it's not about necessarily practice time. A few offensive sets is all that's needed. I think it's how you manage the players and give them a platform to have fun and do what they do.
That's a good point. Now here's Rivers. McHale inside, guarded by Malone. And it's Moses Malone with the foul. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
And here's Malone. He'll bring it up for the West. Trailing by 13. Here's Lever. That's it, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp. Clark wide open, high scoring both ways.
These tremendous All-Stars are putting on a tremendous show, Kevin.
And now let's go to David Aldridge with a report on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Thank you, Kevin. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the oldest All-Star in history. This is his 17th game. No one else has been in more than 13. To put that into context, there were 6 players in yesterday's Legends game that were younger than Kareem. Magic Johnson says he respects Kareem more than anyone I know because of the pride this man has in whatever he does. Kevin, back to you.
He is a very proud individual. David, thank you. And Kareem's coming out here, Clark, after spending 2 days in bed with strep throat. I mean, it's remarkable.
And Kevin, that's exactly the pride Magic was talking about, and that's why it seems like every game we do, Kareem is adding to some type of record that he's already established. Tonight, he could very well become the leading scorer in the history of the All-Star game.
Isn't that phenomenal? They call him captain for a reason. He is truly the leader of this entire NBA.
Yes, sir.
Here's Rivers after the made shot from Karl Malone. And it's slammed in by McHale.
This is the 4th All-Star game for the Celtics' Kevin McHale. Kids at home who want to learn how to score in the post, just put the isolated camera on Kevin McHale, please. Moves on top of moves in the paint.
Here's Lever. After the basket by the East All-Stars on the other end.
Why?
And it's Malone with the rebound. The East leading by 13. Here's McHale. The vision of Larry Bird is not to be overlooked.
There's the peripheral vision we talk about. Bird finding a wide open teammate.
Johnson kicks the lever.
Gugutom na ako, but I'm on fasting. Oh my God.
Pass to Aguayo.
And pwede lang ako mag-light breakfast
Outside lever.
at exactly 7 a.m.
Olajuwon inside. Working on Malone. The grace of Hakeem Olajuwon. Something special to see. And Clark, when you look at Hakeem Olajuwon's Houston Rockets, here is a team making a lot of moves.
I tell you what, their trade for Joe Barry Carroll and Sleepy Floyd paying huge dividends. They're certainly on the rise in my mind.
Yeah, a lot of people like those moves. Here's Johnson after Moses Malone scored. Johnson finds Olajuwon. Another spoon-fed basket for Magic.
How about this list? Players who have never missed an All-Star game in their careers. Jerry West, Bob Pettit, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Those last three playing here tonight. Really crafty play that time by Jordan. Good decision. The defense was locked in on him, so he gave it away.
Johnson outside. Outside, Aguayo. Up top, Olajuwon. He's covered by Malone. Aguayo, good.
And the Mavericks' Mark Aguirre actually got married last night. How about that? A big weekend for the DePaul product.
Here's the drive. Lays it up off the glass. And the East leads by 14.
A native Chicagoan, Glenn Doc Rivers, a first-time All-Star. He said 5 years ago he sat in the same hotel and cried because he wasn't drafted in the first round. Now, same setting, but the script has been flipped. It all comes full circle for Doc.
And so it's the East All-Stars, sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. We've got more in store for you right after this. And we welcome you back to the second half of the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. Great performances from these players, whether it's their first time participating or their 17th. Here's Johnson.
You know, you get into the latter stages of the game, and it's normal to wonder who will take home the MVP trophy. It's certainly one of those accolades that's mentioned when you talk about the great ones.
Now, here's Lever. Olajuwon. 6 on the shot clock, and no good.
Tremendous all-out defensive effort. Saved the bucket there.
Getting underway here in the second half. Here's the 5 for Brad Nelson.
Ay, gago.
Lever is out there with Johnson. Then there's English. And it's Olajuwon in at the 5, patrolling the pace. The West trails by 14. And of the players in tonight's All-Star Game, Clark, 2 have won MVP trophies in this game before. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas.
And how about this, Kevin? Thomas has won 2 out of the last 4 years. If he was to get 3 MVPs, that would put him in some rarefied air, tying with Oscar Robertson for second most. Bob Pettit is the only player to do it 4 times.
And now here's Johnson, a fast break chance.
Wow.
And with the lead.
Living up to that favored and top billing and giving these fans quite a show.
Now here's Thomas. To the inside. Bird passes to Malone. And Bird gets it to go on the assist from Moses Malone. Bird's got 6.
Larry Bird had it coin last night at the Legends game, trying to fill it up tonight as well.
Thomas against Lever. English inside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. They get Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, you want to talk about elite scores? Alex English immediately comes to mind. He's another level scorer.
Wala. Third quarter na, hindi pa.
I can vouch for that.
Oh my God,
The
third
East
quarter
making
na.
a switch. Ewing's checked in. And here's Thomas who brings it up for the East All-Stars. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Drills it from outside. And Michael Jordan
Medyo
not only
nawala ako sa
last
wisyo
season's
dun,
leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
Mali.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
And Clark, a slow start for Michael Jordan, is beginning now to get some momentum and heating up.
And the fans starting to take notice. They're feeling it a little bit, making some noise. They're certainly hoping he can make it happen.
Doherty's checked in for Larry Bird. Then for the West All-Stars, Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Elijah.
Bakbak mo na.
Worthy
Bakbak mo na
comes
si
in for
Jordan.
Carl
Puro siya.
Malone. Clyde Drexler has subbed in for Lever. Here's Thomas after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's score. Ewing kicks to Jordan. Jacks up a three. Good on the triple. 16 points for him.
Not surprising at all to see Jordan piling up points, playing with a lot of determination and grit and insisting on being aggressive looking for his shots.
On Kareem running low on time to set that scoring record, Clark.
Kevin, there's still enough time left in my mind for him to do it. I would love to see it happen. No guarantees that he gets back to this game next year.
It's Thomas on the wing. Covered by Johnson. Here's Jordan. Here's Ewing. Kicks it out to Jordan. Ewing trying to get open. Oh, Worthy with the block. The West trails by 15. Johnson with the bounce pass. Third quarter action in just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Drexler outside. Over Thomas. Drexler's shot is off. The East leading by 15. It's Jordan with the drop. And not many out there who can elevate like Michael Jordan.
And the high-flying antics of Jordan, simply awesome.
Now a timeout.
Meron na tayong 5 thumbs up. Maraming
The interior
salamat.
defense has been very subpar, and I bet
Thanks
their
for
coach
giving this
is letting them know
to me
about it.
early this morning.
Danny Ainge is checked in for the East.
Gugutom na ako.
Rivers comes in for
Tagal mag
Thomas.
7.
And West also making a switch. McDaniels checked in for English.
You know, there's been talk about adding a third referee to NBA games. The commissioner and the rules committee are in favor of it, and they plan to put it before the board of governors at the next meeting.
Here's Rivers after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's score. A nice shot by Jordan.
Striking it from distance. No hesitation at all.
There's 1:54 left here in the third quarter. Johnson with it. He's picked up by Ewing. That's it good. Johnson's got 10 points in the game. And Clark, with 3 officials working games, do you think that'll result in more fouls being called, more eyes on the ball that can pick up a lot more, certainly with more guys out there?
Yeah, you know, I think, Kevin, it might be the case early on with the third official, but over time it'll smooth itself out. Off the ball, you know, some things you can get away with in the past, maybe not so much with 3 officials out there.
1:19 left in the third. Well, if Jordan is going for that scoring record, Clark, he's running out of time.
You know, I think at this point, Kevin, he can't worry about the record. Just try to get the win. There's always next year to get the numbers.
The kick out to Ainge. And here's Jordan outside. Doesn't go that time. The West trails by 14. Here's McDaniel. Magic
Oh,
Johnson
my God.
delivers passes with such pinpoint accuracy. Wow. And the 6'8" forward from the Seattle Supersonics, Xavier McDaniel.
Now in year 3, he's got to be excited, making his very first All-Star appearance.
Strong player from Wichita State. Here's Johnson after the made shot from Michael Jordan. Drexler passes to Worthy. Down low. Out that one, and the East All-Stars leads them cut down to just 12 points with the basket from McDaniel. McDaniel's gone 3 for 3 from the floor. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Here's Jordan. The East All-Stars tack on 2 more.
And we know Jordan is a master from the mid-range, whether he's squared up or falling away. We feel like,
Oh, and what a moment for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the career leader, Clark, in All-Star game scoring.
Kevin, it is a testament to his longevity and his excellence and greatness. A proud moment, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
I'm glad I'm right next to you. Michael Jordan getting it done for the East All-Star. He delivered 9 points from three-point range that quarter. Terrific work from distance. We come back right after this. Welcome back to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. The grand finale of what's been a tremendous weekend to celebrate the NBA.
You take a look at the landscape of the NBA, and I tell you what, that Central Division, dominant. How about this? 36 games above 500 combined.
Bird out there at Malone. Then it's Jordan. And it's Rivers. And it's Wilkins. And it's the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for the East All-Stars. Jordan with the bucket.
Gotta like how Jordan keeps his focus, not allowing the defense to get the better of him deep inside.
Well, you look at that Central Division, all 6 teams on pace to make the playoffs.
And, you know, Chicago got off to that great start, Kevin. Then they cooled off just a bit. Now tied with Detroit at 3 games behind Atlanta. Those teams are breaked up pretty good.
And so it's Rivers with it. He'll bring it up for the East. They led by as many as 18 points. And he makes that one. Down the stretch here, the East, Clark, out in front.
Getting it done. It's been such a fun game to watch. Entertaining from both sides.
It sure has been. Thomas checked in for the East.
First team foul.
A little over a minute for the fourth quarter gone right now.
Isaiah Thomas.
Abdul-Jabbar on the wing. Guarded by Malone. Misses the layup. The East leading by 16. Jordan in the corner. This one for 3. Good. And the assist goes to Thomas. Thomas got his 7th assist here tonight.
3-pointers clearly the difference for them here in the second half.
The pass to Abdul-Jabbar. Shot to stop the run. And Kareem, the elder statesman. 19 years in the NBA. Decades of dominance. Malone, left side. From 17 feet out. The East All-Stars tack on 2 more.
Zero hesitation. Jordan showing complete confidence in his shooting ability. And after the Central Division, the Midwest has been the second most competitive division. Those teams are sitting at 10 games over 500. Boy, they dodged one right there, didn't they?
This offense has been dynamic and diversified.
Everybody sharing the ball and sharing the load makes you really hard to defend. Enjoying this big lead, and right now they look unstoppable on offense.
And Clark in the Midwest, those Rockets are really making a push.
And they're doing it behind Akeem Olajuwon. To me, he's the best center in the NBA. They certainly got a chance to give the Lakers a run for their money.
Oh, yeah. The East leading by 19 points. Feeds to Bird. And he banks in the layup. And Larry Bird winning 3 straight MVP awards from 1983 to 1986.
You know who the last player was to do that?
I know I'm going back to 60-something. You tell me.
Yeah,
I know you
Bill
know.
Russell.
Yeah, right.
It's Bill Russell, 1960 to 63.
Of course. I'm glad we bring him up. A legend.
Yep.
Here's Jordan. Plays it up and banks it in. Jordan's got 36.
What a power surge by these guys. They can't miss.
Now a timeout called by the West All-Stars. Michael Jordan really making a difference here.
He's on another level right now.
Wait lang guys ha. Yun lang. Gutom na ako. Uy, meron na tayong 6 views.
Knocking down threes left and right. The defense isn't doing their job, and I think they got to talk about it.
The West All-Stars have no switch here. Olajuwon's check.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
So it's the West now. English the best deliver. Good. Great play by English to set it up. English has got his third assist on the night. It's Jordan with the drive. And it goes down 2 points. Jordan's got 38 points.
On the drive, MJ is so ferocious, he never even thinks about slowing down. Pedal to the metal.
And it's slammed in by Malone.
And the 6'9" forward, Karl Malone out of Louisiana Tech, playing for the Utah Jazz. Tonight, he's wearing number 7 to honor the great Pete Maravich, who himself was a 3-time All-Star with the New Orleans Jazz.
The shot's good from Lever. 14 points for Pat Lever.
Doing all he can so far, but they still find themselves trailing.
To the middle, Jordan. Lead pass was put in just the right spot. And
We hit 2 of the goals in this Jordan challenge.
leads by 21.
Hindi ko na may hit
And
yung
Jordan Clark within reach of the
I'm
record.
not good at rebounding.
He's almost there. Keep
I'm
that
not
pedal
good
to the metal is what I
How
say.
to orchestrate that
Lever has the open look.
rebounding scheme.
Off target with his 3.
Tell you what, the defense was lucky there. I mean, leave him that open from range, he'll typically knock it down.
It's stolen by Olajuwon. English on the wing. Defended by Wilkins. And Magic Johnson the bucket on the assist by English.
Magic Johnson leads the league in assists, and he's also got the most assists in All-Star game history. He processes the game at another level, folks.
The West trails by 19. There's Lever with the 3. Goes up again, and Jordan sends it back.
Boy, much respect for the defense of Jordan. I mean, he gives his all on this end of the floor. I mean, fantastic at getting his hands up to block shots.
To the paint, here's Bird. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
I like that they're putting in the work, trying to build this lead out.
Outside Lever. 40 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Here's Johnson going inside. It's no good. He is 4 for 10 in the game. And so Jordan will bring it up for the East All-Stars. Michael Jordan now with 42 points. He has tied the record for scoring in an All-Star game.
A piece of history. Boy, is he special.
Johnson kicks the Lever. Pass to Malone. Now, here's Johnson. Defended by Jordan.
Yeah.
Johnson with the bounce
Two out of
pass.
three.
Here's English, the master of the mid-range, Alex English.
You know, people said Alex
Hindi ko alam
English
kung
was
mararamdaman
too
ko
light
yan.
of frame, too skinny, not athletic enough. Well, how about this? He's playing in the 7th straight All-Star game. So much for being too skinny.
And the Eastern All-Stars deliver. The favorites coming in, but they did not disappoint.
69.
Yeah, you look at that team on paper and you saw they were the stronger team and should have been favored. But you still got to go out and prove it. And they did exactly that.
And so much scoring in that lineup for the East. My goodness, look at those names. That's always going to be tough to stop.
And you factor in the raucous crowd cheering on Michael Jordan, Kevin. No wonder they found that extra gear they needed when it was time to get it done.
That's a good point.
So what's next? The Shot. Going to 1989. Ito yata yung sa Cleveland. Isa pa, laro pa tayo. Sige, isa pa. Duke Larry Nance. Oh my god, how am I going to do that? Nako, mukhang pahirap na tayo ng pahirap ah. Ano kaya to?
You know when Michael Jordan is coming to town, you always wanted to get a good night's sleep, a good night rest, something good to eat, because you know the next day Michael Jordan is in your building and he's coming to put on a show, and you have to compete against that. Game 5 was at our place, and you know, a typical game, Eastern Conference game, a physical game, it was like a back and forth thing, the shot. You know, everybody want to talk about the shot. Chicago kept fighting, MJ kept making plays. It's at the end of the game, and we going to the timeout, and everybody talking. I was like, Coach, I want to guard MJ. Like, I got to guard MJ. There's only one player that's getting this basketball, and that's MJ. He's like, we're going to put Craig Elo on it. I'm like, and he jumped up, and Elo jumps up, Elo stops, and MJ does this to Elo. Elo comes down, and he shoots it, and
Craig Elo.
And it was slow motion. It was like, he's the guy that you want the ball in his hand late in the ball.
Good morning pala ulit sa mga bagong gising dyan at sa mga bagong silip sa channel na to. Sa mga napapadaan dyan, magandang umaga sa inyo. Mag-breakfast na kayo at mag-prepare na kayo for work, no? '89 NBA playoffs first round. Richfield Coliseum. Hindi pa sila nag-champion dito. I I think this is their
All right, Coach, Cleveland
They
leads
off
Chicago
speed.
inbound. What can the Cavaliers do?
The Cavs try to deny Jordan the ball.
Ay.
With the steal.
Goodness, the ball
Look.
is thrown.
failed. Ay, okay.
All right, Coach, Cleveland leads Chicago inbound. What can the Cavaliers do?
The Cavs try to deny Jordan the ball. They actually 2-on-1 him without the ball. Elo trying to catch back up. The shot's up.
No, he misses.
Hirap.
Cleveland has won
Ganon.
in Game 5 in the first round.
Okay. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can accept not trying. Okay.
All right, Coach, Cleveland leads Chicago inbound. What can the Cavaliers do?
The Cavs try to deny Jordan the ball. They actually 2-on-1 him without the ball. Elo trying to catch back up. The shot's up.
No, he
No.
misses. Cleveland has won in
Hirap.
Game 5 in the first round.
Walang game, walang lalaruin, pero mga QTE ang tawag dito,
All right,
quick
Coach,
time events.
Cleveland leads Chicago inbound. What can the Cavaliers do?
The Cavs try to deny Jordan the ball. They actually 2-on-1 him without the ball. Elo trying to catch back up. The shot's up.
Yun!
Oh, Michael
Woo!
Jordan! Wow, Coach, a Game 5 winning shot. Doug Collins off the bench, and the Bulls have won.
You can never ever count Michael Jordan out.
Ang bilis lang. So, ganun lang yun. Okay. Shoot out. Oh, how am I supposed to do this? It's a dunk contest. Tara nga. No. Okay. Regular season game. Okay. Outscore Dominic Wilkins. Hold Dominic Wilkins under 20 points. Wow. Win the game. Ito mahaba-haba to.
Michael was a different level, man. It was a different level of competitiveness.
Talaga ba? Forward
Just
si Dominic
sheer
Wilkins?
will to win. He changed the game. He changed the game. I mean, not just in one aspect, in many aspects, every aspect of the game. He changed it. I played against some greatest players in the history of this game. Michael Jordan was one of those guys that lifted my ability to the next level. We enjoyed the competition with one another. We played very hard, fiercely against one another, but it was like you had two gentlemen going head to head. Michael Jordan and I wasn't just coming down the court getting dunks at the dunks. We found creative ways to score. I can't tell you the fun and the pleasure I had to play against him. You know, and Michael and I, we never really talked about those games. It was kind of an unspoken thing between us. You know, the respect level that we had was at a different level. I think I had a great game in Atlanta, and I remember going to Chicago. Michael walks into our locker room. Now, we're still in suit and tie. We haven't gotten dressed yet. And he walks in our locker room, suit and tie. And I'm like, what are you doing coming in our locker room? And I ain't gonna say exactly what I said. And so he walked by me, he walked by Kevin Willis, and he got to Randy Whitman. He tapped him on his butt and he said, lace him up, it's gonna be a long night. He got 60 that night. He got 60. And it was a very close game. I think it went down to the last shot in that game. But I think he proved his point.
Let's get it on.
And a beautiful view of the famous Chicago skyline. An appropriate dramatic setting for our game today at Chicago Stadium. Welcome everyone to Chicago. This is Kevin Harlan along with me, Clark Kellogg. We've got David
1989.
Aldrich joining us from the sideline.
I am 2 years old.
As we get set to watch the Atlanta Hawks go up against the Chicago Bulls. Clark, this should be a beauty.
You know, each of these teams, Kevin, has a guy who is in the running for the league lead
Spud
in
Webb,
scoring.
Doc
I'm,
Rivers,
of course, talking about
Dominic
two
Wilkins.
guys that don't need introduction, Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. Going to be a lot of fun watching these guys try to one-up each other offensively.
In Clark, beyond just Jordan and Wilkins, plenty of other talented scorers on each of these teams as well.
Kevin, you make a very good point. I mean, these are two impressive high-octane lineups, which I think could result in this score really getting run up in a hurry.
This should be one to remember. And out there for Atlanta, Spud Webb at the point with Doc Rivers at the 2. At the forward positions, Dominique Wilkins and Moses Malone. John Koncak will be at center. And starting things off for the Bulls, it's John Paxson at point guard with Michael Jordan also at the guard. Then Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant at the... Oh, wow! Chicago, Atlanta. It's a special matchup. And these fans feeling a little extra electricity from Michael Jordan in this one. Clark, I know the Bulls are hoping for big things this year after making it all the way to the conference finals a season ago.
You know, I think Chicago proving they can handle teams like these Hawks could be a really good sign for them as they look to become a more dominant and consistent force in this league.
Jordan, that one falls, coming off of Paxson's feed. Jordan's got his second bucket of the game to go. The two scoring leaders facing off, but to dig deeper, let's go to a guy who can dig as deep as any, David Aldrich, DA.
Thanks, guys. We know that Dominique and Jordan's scoring will probably be the big story of the night, but there's a lot more to these guys' games that could affect the outcome. With Wilkins, we've seen a new focus from him on improving his rebounding, and as always, Jordan's defense can be just as impactful as his offense. Guys, back to you.
You know, David, that's an interesting point, and I think you're right. It's not just Clark about scoring tonight. It's got to be a multi-faceted game. Wouldn't you agree?
I certainly would, Kevin. Limiting your opponent's touches and disrupting their shot attempts and their offensive flow, I think could be the real name of the game in this one. You just can't get it done with offense alone.
I know Jordan takes pride in his defense. We'll see if that's true tonight.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on that.
The number one objective, Clark, of this Bulls defense has to be limiting Dominique Wilkins' looks. They've got to contain that incredible scoring of his.
Kevin, you're all over it. Right on point. I mean, if Chicago can't disrupt his usual scoring, then they're in for a long night and some real trouble.
Pass to Rivers. And here is Webb. Wilkins outside. Shot clock at 6. Shoots from the line. Webb. It's good on the putback. You know, Clark, in some ways, this game could come down to either Jordan's or Wilkins. And who scores the most? Outperforming the other could seal the game for their team.
Kevin, that's exactly what we'll be keeping a close eye on. Which one is leading in the point column? Because I agree the winner of that duel very well could decide this thing.
Oh, what a duel it's going to be. Wilkins surveying the defense. Malone passes to Koncak. The rebound by Cartwright. The Bulls with the lead. Pippen kicks to Jordan. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Jordan's got 9.
Really smooth shot that time from MJ beyond the arc. Hawks can't afford to let him get it going from the three-point line.
They get it back. Mobo. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field.
Well, you know, this is what happens. You can't afford to lose concentration even for a nanosecond.
Wasted no time on that one.
This is a shot Pippen is very comfortable with. He's extremely effective in the mid-range.
Credit to these Hawks, Clark, for having a constant postseason presence these last few seasons.
3 straight second-round appearances, and then last year a tough loss in the first round. But I say don't let that fool you. These Hawks are a very competitive team.
They really are. All right, Clark, Wilkins and Jordan, a couple of talented one-on-one players who are both going to be seeking mismatches in this one.
And you know, Kevin, if you're on either of these teams, you've got to be ready to come at Jordan and Wilkins defensively. Don't let them dictate things. Low effort defense, not going to get it done because they'll take advantage of that forward.
So for the Bulls, Purdue is checked in for Cartwright. King comes in for Horace Grant. And Armstrong subbed in for John Paxson. Then for the Hawks, Willis he checked in for Concat. Carr comes in for Malone. And Smith subbed in for Webb. Now the pass to Willis. It's tipped.
Imposing his will on defense. Purdue's teammates love when he makes hustle plays like that. The shooter thought he had enough space, but the defender was right on it.
Pippen dishes to Armstrong. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Here's Smith. And it's blocked. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. Let's take a second look at that fantastic block.
Boy, I like the fact that's intimidation right away. Got to show those shooters you're going to be in their face all night long.
Will Purdue.
.112 left in the first. Some fresh competition, Clark, for the Bulls and Hawks in the league this year, with two expansion teams coming to the NBA in Orlando and Minnesota.
Exactly, Kevin. I mean, these teams are focused on the game at hand. That's pretty obvious, but this is a very interesting time for the NBA. A lot of new talent and the new landscape.
A lot of growing indeed. Pass to Willis. Pippen against Wilkins. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Hawks making a switch here. Tony's checked in. And the Bulls with possession. They're on a 19-6 run. Into the lane, and he converts the layup.
Their scoring has been a problem. Been tough to handle.
There's 38 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Offensively, Clark, things have sort of fallen apart for him.
And they need to recover as soon as possible.
Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. And as both teams pause action here for a minute, these players are focused on staying hydrated with Gatorade, which is crucial to helping them play the entire game.
No question about it, partner. We all know how important it is to keep your energy up. And Gatorade certainly helps big time in that regard.
The Hawks again can't hit.
With the defense refusing to give up anything easy, love seeing that kind of intensity. You can always count on Jordan to crank it up a little bit here at home and give these Bulls fans a game worth watching.
The Hawks trail by 15. Here's Tony. Michael Jordan grabs the miss. To the right side. Here's Armstrong. Here's Purdue, and slam dunk by Purdue.
Going inside with purpose and on a mission, making it happen in tight.
And so it's Michael Jordan making things happen for the Chicago Bulls. He kept going to him again and again, and he delivered with a monster quarter. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Chicago as the second quarter gets underway. It's been an exciting game so far between the hometown Chicago Bulls and the visiting Atlanta Hawks.
For the Bulls, they've got a new coach at the helm this season. With Phil Jackson, this is his first stint as a head coach here in the NBA.
Pippen finds Grant, and the dunk by Grant.
We've always liked the feel for the game that Scottie Pippen has. He's a dynamic
Horace Grant and B.J. Armstrong, both
start in the second quarter.
one-time All-Star for Chicago
Tony
Bulls.
is out there with Webb. Then there's Moses Malone,
to help out
and it's
Scottie
Willis in
Pippen.
at the four-star. Jackson, of course, a former player, a former assistant under Doug Collins in Chicago. And Clark, I hear he's got some interesting ideas when it comes to encore strategy.
Well, Kevin, you know, he's certainly got some good pieces to test those ideas out with. There's no denying that. But what I think matters most is that the guys seem to relate to him and like it. Chemistry between players and head coaches is critical.
Well, you know, you played a long time, and you know how important that connection can be.
That's a very key deal.
Rivers kicks to Webb. Passes to Malone. Wilkins with it. He's picked up.
Moses Malone.
Bouncing into the air like only he can. Wilkins making the defense look absolutely helpless.
Clark, how do you think the Bulls have done so far in defending Dominique Wilkins?
I think they've done a solid job, quite honestly. I mean, they've taken away the easy looks for him, and they're making him work for every shot. Kevin, that's really all you want to do against a great scorer like Wilkins.
Yeah, make him work for everybody. That's a good point.
Boy, nice setup with the pass, and Wilkins bounces up knowing just what to do with it.
Jordan, the pass to Paxson. Off target from three-point range. And so it's Wilkins who brings up the ball for the Hawks. It's an 18-point game. Webb can't hit.
He has to make that one. I mean, you have to make the defense pay when they slough off of you like that.
And here's Jordan outside. That one falls, coming off of... speed. Paxson's got 3 assists in the game. Webb against Paxson. Webb kicks to Malone. They get the rebound. Pass to Rivers. Latre. Chicago grabs the miss.
The Hawks and the Bulls, when you look at the measurables of teams and players, pretty standard for the league, with explosively athletic backcourts and then quite a bit of size down low, too.
So far, Michael Jordan has been getting just about Clark everything he wants on the offensive end.
And that's not unexpected, but, you know, that doesn't bode well for the Hawks as Wilkins has been unable to answer Jordan with shots of his own, which I think says a lot about the job the Chicago defense is doing.
I agree. Let's go to David Aldridge, who has some inside info on the Chicago Bulls.
Hey, Kevin, when you talk to the coaching staff and you say, what's the key to success against the Hawks, they have a one-word answer. Michael. They expect big numbers from Jordan, probably exceeding his average of 35 points from last season. Back to you, Kevin.
Well, that's good stuff there, David. Sometimes, Clark, the answer is that simple, I guess.
Yeah, you don't have to complicate it, especially when you're talking about Jordan, because he does make it really simple. Although he's not a one-man show, his whole team is going to have to still step up.
And they take pride in it, don't they? Helping this very special talent do what they've got to do.
Yeah, they're pros, and they get their checks twice a month, too.
It's Pippen on the wing. From deep, that one falls, coming off of Paxson's speed. Paxson's got 5 assists tonight. That's the Hawks ball.
Well, you got to appreciate how consistent these Atlanta Hawks have been. I mean, season to season, even while going through some roster shakeups, they've been steady.
Kept alive, goes back up. Malone can't hit. Paxson against Webb. The shot's good from Paxson. Paxson's got 5 points so far.
Really good concentration by Paxson that time. I think he drew some contact there, but no whistle.
Clark, as we know, last year the Hawks were able to hit 50 wins for the 4th consecutive season.
And Kevin, I think that speaks to obviously the product on the floor, but the quality of their organization too. I mean, these are players and coaches who just know how to win games. They've gotten out to a big lead because of superior play on both ends.
Oh, and they need a basket in the worst way.
I think they're forcing things right now, and it's why their offense looks so pedestrian.
Jordan looking around. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Pretty good display of strength by Jordan there. Absorbed the contact and still able to nail the shot.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Willis, he checked in for Malone. Carr comes in for Livingston. And it's Tony in for Spud Webb.
Bull foul. John Paxson. First personal foul. First team foul.
.127 left now here in the second. They get a hand on it. Here's Rivers.
Really like how active Grant is on defense. I mean, he takes a ton of pride in making things hard.
Jordan's shot is
go
off.
well.
They were looking for the alley-oop connection, but the wires got crossed there.
The pass to Wilkins. It's Rivers on the wing. Defended by Jordan. Carr, no good.
Struggling to find their flow while the other team is on a roll.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Michael Jordan using that strength of his to get into the defense to draw the foul on the way up.
For Chicago, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. Some changes for Chicago. Kings checked in for Grant. Hodges comes in for Scottie Pippen. And B.J. Armstrong has subbed in for Paxson. And a change for the Hawks. Smith has checked in. King, the pass to Hodges. 30 seconds left here in the second. Back to King. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Craig Hodges is more than just a shooter, folks. He knows how to get the ball to his open teammates.
Armstrong against Tony. 15 seconds left in the second quarter. Dishes to Wilkins. Clock at 6. Trying to get something going. Tries again. Misses at the rim. And so it's the Chicago Bulls going to the break, holding an enormous 36-point lead. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving a very...
1450.
So welcome back, everyone, to the third quarter of this contest between the Bulls and the Hawks, where Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins have been going at it. And here are the Bulls now.
And as this second half gets underway, the defensive ability of the Hawks and Bulls only become more important. You got to limit your opponents down the stretch, and both of these teams have the ability to do that.
Here's Pippen. Makes it off the glass. Pippen's got 13.
Well, I tell you, Pippen's length helps him close to the rim. He uses that length to score through contact.
They've got Paxson. Pippen is out there with Grant. That's Michael Jordan. And it's Cartwright in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Wilkins passes to Rivers. And there's the drive. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Horace Grant. We were talking about this before, but Clark, some very capable defenders on both sides of the ball.
No doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, the duo of Pippen and Jordan, so effective at wreaking havoc and forcing turnovers. And the Hawks have Doc Rivers, who can hassle ball handlers. He's physical as a backcourt defender, as well as Moses down low to eat that glass and block shots, too.
Both are fun to watch. Kicks it out to Grant. Outside, Jordan. Shoots over Malone, and the Bulls tack on 2 more. We're going over the numbers in the first half. Clark, Jordan was able to top Wilkins in scoring in the first and second quarters combined.
A critical advantage partner that he worked really hard to get. Not all of his hoops were easy ones.
Right, you're right on that. They get it again. Malone. And Malone with the stuff.
You know, part of what makes Malone such a good rebounder is his aggressiveness. I mean, and he also has a real nose.
Oh, my!
Wow! Soaring up to the rim, Jordan makes it look so easy the way he gets off the floor. But I can tell you, that's harder than it looks.
Rivers kicks to Malone. The second chance effort. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Malone's got 4 points in the quarter.
Boy, the hard worker that Malone is makes you appreciate him, especially close to the rim. He's a strong guy who usually overpowers defenders inside.
Back to Pippen. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And that's 15 points here for Scottie Pippen.
Hey, it's as plain as pound cake. Keep it simple. They want to see how big this league can get. When you think about Michael Jordan, you think about scoring, putting the ball in the basket. But he does a lot of other stuff out there as well, like moving the ball effectively.
Here's Concat. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Yeah, he was just a skosh late on the contest. That's going to be a goaltend for sure.
Livingston's checked in for Concat. Pass to Jordan. From outside the arc, sinks the three-pointer. Jordan's got 31. You know, we touched on it. Last year, Michael Jordan Clark was actually 8th in the league in total assists. He was a top 10 assist guy.
It's not something that comes to mind when you think about him, but it's very impressive nonetheless, Kevin. Shows you what kind of leader he is. He knows he's got to get his teammates involved and work well with them for his team to be its best.
Yeah, he's a terrific facilitator.
No doubt.
Rivers can't get it to go. Here in the third quarter, the Bulls, Clark, have managed to be pretty effective when it comes to defending Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, you know, their focus, Kevin, in terms of defending him, I think has really been good. Really good. And I think you can tell it started to frustrate Dominique a bit.
You can. Atlanta with the ball. Here's Wilkins. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Dominique Wilkins unafraid to put his body on the line, going
Wait,
right
New
into
Balance
that
at that
interior
time?
defense and getting himself fouled in the act.
Naka-New Balance si
So
Bill
Chicago
Cartwright.
going with an almost entirely new group here. Neely's checked in for Cartwright. King comes in for Grant. Hodges checked in for Pippen. And B.J. Armstrong has subbed in for John Paxson. And then for Atlanta, Antoine Carr. He's checked in for Malone. Tony comes in for Doc Rivers. And Smith subbed in for Webb. As we get deeper into this game, Clark, it has been all Jordan offensively, as we can see, leaving Dominique well behind him.
You know, I didn't think it would be this one-sided. I mean, Jordan has just been operating at a totally different level, and Dominique has not managed to match that intensity or production.
You're so right.
These Hawks have a trusted and capable leader steering the ship, and that's Coach Mike Fratello. He won Coach of the Year for his work with this team in the '86 season. Boy, they're cranking it up a notch right now, really setting the pace for this game.
We've got 1:18 left in the third. They need to find a high percentage shot, Clark, to regain some of that confidence.
I think they've gone too long without seeing one go down, and that begins to mess with your psyche.
Carr, the pass to Smith. Lets it go from the wing. Rebound by Neely.
Boy, he's got to be disappointed in the result there. I mean, the defender really didn't make any impact at all.
And Michael Jordan, no doubt, one of the greatest dunkers of this era.
Hey, when Jordan is cutting to the cup, he's locked in on throwing it down. The D doesn't have a chance at denying him that chance.
Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Here's King. Basket counts.
Their offensive efficiency has been even better here in the second.
There's 37 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Outside Wilkins. Smith against King. Passes it to Livingston. Knocks it loose. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Yeah, I think Livingston is all about the effort plays. I mean, grabbing rebounds, putting it right back up. Excellent work.
Jordan outside, inside. King, that's good. King's got his third basket of the night.
I like the play call. Very solid, making perfect use of the pick to get a great look.
And so it's Chicago, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Right back after this break. Welcome back, everyone. We get into the fourth quarter of this thrilling game between the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. And this crowd is feeling it.
As this game wears on, you have to be so conscious of Michael Jordan. I mean, he's got something of a reputation for being a closer, and that's an understatement. He finds a way to push himself beyond his limits to come up with clutch points when his team needs it most.
Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. Konkak is out there with Willis, and it's Smith, then there's Carr, and it's Tony, and at the point. Here's Jordan, and it's Chicago scoring again.
Not surprising at all to see Jordan piling up points.
Uy,
Playing with a lot
road
of
to go
determination
vlog.
and grit,
Yan, dyan ka pa rin pala.
insisting on being aggressive looking for a shot.
Thank you sa pagbalik.
Knowing that
Salamat
Michael
sa
Jordan
muling
likes to
pagsilip.
explode down the home stretch offensively, Clark, think the Hawks might increase the defensive pressure on them.
You know, it wouldn't shock me, Kevin, if they did just that.
Make a shout out to
Just
you,
make
Road to
sure
Go
somehow,
vlog.
some way, you don't allow him to put together a run.
Armstrong kicks to Jordan. Here's Purdue. Good, and the assist goes to Jordan. Jordan's got assist number 5 here tonight. And Clark, as we come toward the end of this game, winding our way toward the finish line, the Bulls are doing all they can to limit Dominique Wilkins' production.
And it's working. They're making a strong effort to keep Wilkins from getting a lot of shot attempts.
And the shot goes in from Konkak.
Soft, puffy interior D, and they've exploited it.
And so Jordan will bring it up for the Bulls. Here he goes, and it's Jordan slamming it down.
And the
Boom,
high
the shot.
antics of Jordan, simply
Bang.
awesome.
Your
About a
airness.
minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Tony kicks to Smith. Back to Tony. Takes the 3. Purdue with the rebound. Purdue's got his 5th rebound in this one. Releases from 15. That shot, no good. So Atlanta will take it the other way. Tony the pass to Carr. Armstrong against Tony. Chicago grabs the miss.
You know, something I like about both of these teams, the Bulls and the Hawks, is the experience they have, the range of experience. I mean, you've got younger guys like John Konkak and Horace Grant, and then you've got the seasoned veterans like Moses and Bill Cartwright. It's a really good balance.
Offensively, Clark, things have sort of fallen apart for him.
And they need to recover as soon as possible.
Tony against Armstrong. Tony the pass to Konkak. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Antok na ako.
Konkak's got 4 points this quarter. Clark, I've always wondered how valuable you think it is for younger players to get a chance to play alongside more experienced players.
Kevin, I think it's crucial and absolutely vital. Older guys have a way of being able to teach a young star so much about patience and which battles you fight and which ones you let go and how you carry yourself as a pro and all of the nuances of playing in the NBA. Good veterans can help young players set the tone for the rest of their careers.
Oh, that's a great answer. Here's Konkak. They grab their own miss. Over Armstrong. And it's Konkak missing. And here are the Bulls now. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points. And foul on the shot. So he'll get a chance at the line.
You know, there's so much that's amazing to me about Jordan, but his endurance stands out. He consistently gets stronger, it seems, as the game goes on.
Kings check in for the Bulls. And a change for the Hawks. Livingston's checked in. Armstrong against Smith. Poke loose. And here's the fast break. Armstrong passes to King. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Kicks it to Jordan. Here's Armstrong. Good, and the assist goes to Jordan. Jordan's got 6 assists in the game. And the Hawks with possession here. Pass to Livingston.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
Smith against Armstrong. Here's Livingston. The putback. Rebound by the Bulls. Neely's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Armstrong. Up again. Great positioning on the putback.
Love how Jordan uses his jumping ability on the offensive boards. I mean, this guy just does not give up.
1:37 left to play here in the fourth.
Good offense squaring up against better D there. You got to appreciate that stop.
An easy 2 points on the layup. Jordan's got 48.
Jordan's got a lot of flash to his game. A terrific guard, loves getting tricky with his ball handling and creating shots for himself.
Smith, no good.
Boy, great effort on defense there against a guy who typically makes that.
Count that one. Jordan's got 50 points.
Their offense has really stood out. They're piling up the points and torching this defense.
Back to Smith.
Chicago foul. PJ
Carr is checked in for the Hawks.
First personal foul. First team foul. Coming on the floor for the Hawks, Antoine Carr.
Smith outside. Got a hand on it. Now Purdue. Here's Armstrong. And he uses the glass on the way.
They've turned it up a notch here during this home stretch.
46 seconds left in the game. And there's the pass to Tony.
Chicago foul. B.J. Armstrong. Second personal foul.
First free throw is good.
Second team foul. At the line for the...
Both good from the line that time. Clark, how about the unselfishness of this team?
Love the willingness to make that extra pass, and it has the defense in a scramble mode.
Purdue, the pass to Jordan. He gets that one. Jordan's got 52 points.
Jordan getting quickly into the shot. No hesitation. Supreme confidence shooting off the pass.
Armstrong against Tony. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Here is Armstrong. And the Chicago Bulls, Clark, managed to pull out the win here tonight with Michael Jordan delivering
Got all
a
3
terrific
goals for
performance
this
to
Jordan
overcome
challenge.
Wilkins and these Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, Kevin, able to beat Dominique's
We would like to
offensive
thank all
talents
fans
once
for
again.
making it out to
Always
tonight's
special,
event.
though,
Please exit
to
the
watch
building
these two
carefully
go at it
and
head to
walk home
head.
safely.
MJ got the better of Dominique this time.
He did tonight. But looking beyond just the 2 stars, Clark, as you like to say, this was a team win.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, Jordan cleared and made the way, but the rest of the Bulls did a terrific job keeping up.
Yeah, all wrap. So, check lang natin kung ano yung next na Jordan challenge. Then, I'll end the stream because I'm gonna have to prepare. $1990, 69 points. Wow! Regular season game. Okay. Okay? Kayang-kaya ko din to. But, let's stop there. So, there you go. We've been live now for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and that is enough for today's video. Thank you kay Kuya Road to Go Vlog for dropping by sa stream na to. Shout out to you again, and more power to you and your channel po. Magandang umaga sa lahat.